Okay. First of all, okay, let me share the screen. This is the fourth day class. Okay. So I would like to welcome all my dear students to my fourth day class of BCA second semester compulsory English. In the previous classes, we talked about communication, business communication, role of business communication, role of communication in business, and we also started a new topic, that is rules of good writing. Before I start today's class, I want to remind you of some rules, some instructions very briefly. I repeat here that you have to be regular in my class. You have to note down the content presented by me. That will be for your knowledge, for your exam, for your skill development. You have to prepare your own notes after reading the content. Don't depend on my slides only. My slides will give only limited knowledge. And for getting the reading materials, learning materials, you have to visit the Google Classroom regularly and do the tasks accordingly. So these are the instructions for you. And here is the outline of my today's session. So we'll focus on the rules of good writing today also. In the previous class, we talked about the first two rules of good writing, which are come straight to the point and remember the keys principle. We have already discussed these 2 points with examples. Today we'll be discussing the remaining points related to the use of active voice, use of right tone, modal language, and the use of gender neutral words. Sorry. I think in the last class also I told you about the use of voice, okay, in our business writing. So I told you that in business writing, as much as possible, we have to use passive voice. You may have question in your mind, why we have to use passive voice? Actually, the use of passive voice makes our writing more alive, more focused, more personal, interesting, and clear, economic as well. I am not saying that you have to totally discourage a passive voice. There are some situations when passive voice can also be used, but there are few situations only. In most of the situations, we have to use active voice to make our language focused, active, I mean alive, and personal, more personal, interesting also. See some examples here on the screen. The study was completed by the marketing manager. Instead of saying this thing, you can say the marketing manager completed the study. So I think it is easier to understand also. The marketing director completed the study. It is easier. And when you make the sentence like this, the study was completed by the marketing manager, somehow, okay, it is longer also. And it seems less focused, less alive. Second example, separate requisitions should be prepared by each buyer. Simply you can say each buyer should prepare separate requisitions. Other examples, your goods will be sent by us within the next 14 days. Instead of saying this thing, you can easily say, okay, we will send your goods within next 14 days. So in this way, okay, we have to use active voice as much as possible. Here are some examples. I think we talked about these examples in the last class also. So I'm not going to explain this, okay, individually. So go through these examples once again and get the concept, get the idea, and try to use, okay, these ideas while writing business message. Okay. I want to remind you of the rules of active voice and passive voice. Though you studied these rules in the junior classes also, but most of you might have forgotten. So just I want to remind you of how the, okay, sentences can be changed from active to passive or passive to active. Just see on the screen. He draws pictures. This is active voice. Okay. In simple present tense, just say the simple present tense. So he draws pictures. It's passive voice. Pictures are drawn by him. Pictures are drawn by him. Okay. So learn the rules of passive voice also. And if you know the rules of passive voice, then you can, okay, change them back to active voice. He teaches me. I am taught by him. Yes, the structure is what? In simple present tense, okay, we use be verb, okay, is MR plus past participle means, okay, verb 3 form and then object. Okay, let's say the common structure is, okay, object plus is MR plus B3, okay, by plus by subject. Like this we change. So you know these things already, I presuppose. Other examples are also attached here. They built a house. A house was built by them, you can say. She wrote many stories. Many stories were written by her. This is simple past passive. Okay, was, were plus verb 3. We are baking. We are baking. Just see, this is present continuous. You studied this thing in class 11 also. Present continuous passive. In present continuous passive, we use being, B-E-I-N-G, being plus verb 3. Okay, we are baking the bread. Yes, the passive form is the bread is being baked. Past continuous, just see, next example. They were doing the homework. The homework was being done. This is passive. She has done the work. The work has been done. This is present perfect tense. Has have been. Been plus past participle. In perfect tense, we use been. In perfect tense, we use been plus verb 3. In continuous tense, we use being plus verb 3. In simple tense, we use, okay, is MR was where plus verb 3. See, he had painted the door. The door had been painted. Okay. In perfect tense, we use been plus verb 3. You know that. If there are modal verbs in the sentence, modal verbs, okay, can, could, will, would, like this, okay, we have to use be plus verb 3 or been plus verb 3. Okay, if there comes have after modal verb, we have to use been, have been. If there comes only verb 1 form after, okay, the modal verb, we use be only. Just see the example here. She will have done the task. She will have done the task. She will have done the task. This is active, and its passive is the task will have been done. Will have छ भने के गर्ने, been जोड्ने. यदि मोडल भर्बको सँगै have पनि आएको छ भने been हुन्छ. तर मोडल भर्ब पछाडी verb 1 मात्रै आएको छ भने चाहिँ be राख्नु पर्छ passive गर्दा. They will close the gates छ भने the gates will be closed भने will be closed. तर will have थियो भने have been हुन्थ्यो. ओके, यो सबै हेर्ने मैले यो एक्स्ट्रा इन्फर्मेसन दिएको. ओके, स्टुडेन्टलाई चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ I have taught the students like you for many years. Okay, so I have taught the students of that area, okay, for more than 13 years. That's why I know the level of the students there. Most of the students are of mixed ability. Okay, mixed ability. Okay, mixed ability भएको स्टुडेन्टहरु हुन्छ. ओके, कोही धेरै कमजोर हुन्छ नेपाली मिडियमबाट आएको, त्यो भएर मैले चाहिँ अलिकति काम लाग्छ कि भन्ने यो कुरा थप दिएको. ओके, Yes. So as much as possible, we have to use active voice, but there are some situations where passive voice is also appropriate. Here is a question. Is passive voice ever appropriate? Yes. Answer is yes. There are some situations when passive voice would be more appropriate. And there are mainly three situations. One, two, three. There are three situations when we can use passive voice, not the active voice. But except these situations, we have to use active voice. What are those situations when passive voice would be better? Passive voice better हुने अवस्थाहरू के हुन् त? First, it may be better to make a particularly important noun the subject of the sentence, thus giving it extra emphasis. Try to understand this situation. It may be better to make a particular important noun. त्यो सेन्टेन्समा भएको कुनै नाउन, कुनै इम्पोर्टेन्ट नाउनलाई हामीले फोकस गर्नुपर्ने छ, एम्फसाइज गर्नुपर्ने छ भने ओके हामीले त्यति बेला चाहिँ त्यसलाई एम्फसाइज गर्नलाई अगाडि फोरग्राउन्ड, त्यसलाई सब्जेक्ट बनाउनु पर्ने हुन सक्छ. ओके त्यसलाई फोरग्राउन्डिङ भन्छ, त्यसलाई फोकस गर्ने that time. Okay, for example, just say it would be better to say our restaurant has been recommended by all the leading hotels in Singapore. Our restaurant, not others restaurant. Whose restaurant? Our restaurant. कुनै कुरालाई सेन्टेन्समा सुरुमा राख्नु, अगाडिपट्टि राख्नु भनेको त्यसलाई हामीले फोकस गर्दैछौँ, ओके त्यसलाई स्ट्रेस गर्दैछौँ भन्ने मिनिङ जान्छ के. ओके our restaurant has been recommended by all the leading hotels in Singapore. हामीले our restaurant, हाम्रो रेस्टुरेन्ट भन्ने कुरालाई हाइलाइट गर्न चाह्यौँ. Okay, yes, our restaurant has been recommended. They have recommended, most of the people have recommended our restaurant भने रेस्टुरेन्टलाई लास्टमा राख्नुको सट्टा त्यस्तो अवस्था छ भने त्यो बेला हामीलाई यदि त्यसलाई फोकस गर्नलाई passive voice use गर्नुपर्ने छ भने you can do this. Okay, so our restaurant has been recommended by all the leading hotels in Singapore. Okay, like this. Okay, another example like this, like you can take the same class. Our English class, कसैले चाहिँ यो क्लासलाई राम्रो छ भने चाहिँ भन्नु पर्ने अवस्था आएर भने our English class has been appreciated by many people, not only in Mandnagar, even outside Mandnagar. Many people have appreciated virtual class of English. भन्नुको सट्टा यदि लास्टमा लेख्नु सट्टा okay, the virtual class of English, our virtual class of English has been appreciated. So which part you want to focus? And to focus that part, if you need passive voice, do this. So this emphasizes our restaurant rather than all the leading hotels in Singapore. So which part of the sentence you want to emphasize? And for that emphasis, okay, yes, whether you have to use passive voice or active voice, you decide and use. Second situation is when you want to place the focus on the action. Okay, generally active voice is used when actor is more important, and the passive voice is used when action is more important. Okay, yes, not the actor. You don't want to focus on the actor but the action. के भएको छ, के कुरामा चाहिँ भएको छ त्यसलाई जोड दिने अवस्थामा पनि passive voice use गरिन्छ. Like the noise, action verb. The noise was heard all over the island. What was heard? The noise. The noise was heard. They heard the noise भनेको छ, तर हामीले फोकस गर्न चाहेको चाहिँ नोइज हो भने चाहिँ त्यसलाई अगाडि ल्याउनु पर्यो. अगाडि ल्याउने उपाय यो सेन्टेन्समा के हो त? Using the passive voice. So the noise was heard all over the island. Here the emphasis is on the noise, not on the people. When you want to hide something or when the fact is important, sometimes you don't want to expose who did what, who does what. You don't want to expose the doer, or you don't know the doer. एजेन्ट को हो त, त्यो काम गर्नेवाला को हो त थाहा भएन, काम चाहिँ भयो तर कसले गरेको थाहा भएन, त्यति बेला त अनि थाहै छैन त के गर्ने त। अथवा हामी भन्न चाहदैनौँ, त्यो डुअरलाई गोप्य राख्न चाहन्छौँ, हाइड गर्न चाहन्छौँ। ओके, इन द्याट सिचुएसन अल्सो बेटर टु युज द पेसिभ भोइस। जस्तो सामान हराउँछ नि क्लासमा, सर माई ब्याग वाज स्टोलन भन्छ, तर यु डोन्ट नो हु स्टोल योर ब्याग। ओके, somebody stole my bag भन्नु नभनिकन हामी के भन्छ, सर ओके माई ब्याग वाज स्टोलन, माई नोट कपी वाज स्टोलन। ओके, यस, in face-to-face class, okay, students often complain to the teacher, okay, especially in school level. Okay, sir my bag was stolen, my pencil was stolen. Okay, yes, who stole? Sir I don't know. It means you don't know who did what, and then what do? You use the passive voice. Okay, these are the situations when even passive voice is acceptable. Now next topic is right tone. We have to use right tone. I have already told you that in business communication, okay, we have to use right tone. We have to maintain the formal rules of politeness. Our language should not hurt anyone. Our language should not, okay, let's say, hurt the feeling of anyone. Our language should not be too much bossy. धेरै बोसी खालको भनेको हाकिम तरहको भाषा बोल्नु भएन, टु मच इमोटिभ पनि हुनु भएन, टु मच सर्कास्टिक व्यङ्ग्यात्मक खालको नि हुनु भएन, टु मच ब्लन्ट एकदम चाहिँ रुखो खालको ओके पनि हुनु भएन, हतारिएको भाषा पनि हुनु भएन, टु मच एब्रप्ट पनि हुनु भएन, ओके, टु मच कन्डेसेन्डिङ पनि हुनु भएन। कन्डेसेन्डिङ भनेको त्यस्तो भाषा जसले चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ सबै थोक हौँ, ओके, आई नो एभ्रिथिङ, आई एम सुपेरियर, ओके, आई एम अल इन अल भन्ने खालको अलिकति बोस्टिङ टाइपको भाषा पनि युज गर्नु भएन। यहाँ एउटा सानो मैले इमेज तपाईँहरूको बुकबाट मैले चाहिँ यो क्रप गरेर हालिदिएको छु। ओके, वान पर्सन सेज सिट डाउन, सिट डाउन, सिट डाउन, अर्कोले चाहिँ के भन्छ, प्लिज बी सिटेड, प्लिज ह्याभ अ सिट। यस, सो प्लिज ह्याभ अ सिट and please sit down. See, my dear students, I hope you are okay listening there. Okay, so obviously, okay, it is better to say please have a seat than sit down. Okay, language, the English language को कुरा गर्ने हो भने English language is the most polite language if we can use it politely or properly. So my point here is the tone, our attitude, our impression, okay, should be right one. Means as much as possible, okay, we have to use language very politely, okay, to give good impression, okay, to give positive impression, okay, to give the impression that you are not inferiorizing, you are not dominating, you are not insulting the people. So we should use appropriate tone of our voice to convey the message. Appropriate tone of our voice. You should not appear too emotive. धेरै भावुक पनि हुनु भएन भाषामा, व्यवसायमा धेरै भावना नै चल्दैन। Okay, too much emotive. Yes, I think yes, you didn't read that story. Okay, BBS को इङ्ग्लिसमा छ के, एउटाले चाहिँ सामान चाहिँ कहिले चाहिँ नाफा नगर्ने घाटामा जाने, एकपल्ट चाहिँ कैयौं गुना चाहिँ नाफामा चाहिँ सामान बेचिसकेपछि ओके उ चाहिँ धेरै भावुक भएर हैन मैले त धेरै महँगोमा चाहिँ सामान चाहिँ बेचे, त्यो र म चाहिँ आधी चाहिँ हैन किने भन्छ त्यहाँ। किनभने एकदमै चाहिँ के भन्छ भने उले चाहिँ ओरिजिनल बायरबाट चाहिँ उले चाहिँ त्यो सामान चाहिँ ओके मा चाहिँ धेरै नाफा लिएको हुन्छ, म 50% चाहिँ जहाँबाट ल्याएको हो त्यहाँ फिर्ता गरिदिन्छु ओके भन्ने कुरा गर्छ के। अनि सोध्दै जान्छ आखिर चाहिँ त्यो सबै पैसा चाहिँ कुनै जुवा घरमा गएर चाहिँ जुवा खेलेर सकिन्छ। त्यो धेरै सोच्न थालेपछि झन् पहिलाको भएको नि घुम्छ। बिजनेसमा धेरै इमोसन काम लाग्दैन नि त, कठोर पनि केही कठोर पनि हुनुपर्छ। सो डोन्ट बी टु मच इमोटिभ, डोन्ट बी टु मच बोसी, डोन्ट बी टु मच एब्रप्ट। एब्रप्ट भने कहिले हतारीको जस्तो, डोन्ट बी टु मच ब्लन्ट. ब्लन्ट भनेको अलिकति केही पनि अलिकति एकदम चाहिँ के भन्छ डाइरेक्ट खालको चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट ओके ब्लन्ट खालको हार्स खालको ओके सर्कास्टिक ओके अलिकति कसैलाई इन्सल्ट गर्ने इन्फेरियराइज गर्ने खालको ओके धेरै व्यङ्ग्यात्मक खालको ओके कन्डेन्सेन्डिङ भनेको आफूलाई ठुलो बनाएर देखाउने ओके I know everything भन्ने खालको. So don't use such kind of okay words in your business language. So I request the student not to use the chat box in the messenger, please. So if you use the wrong tone in written communication, you could cause real offense. Offense means okay hurt. Okay, you may hurt the feeling of the readers. Even if you feel angry or frustrated, try to not to bend your emotions in writing. Okay, धेरै frustrated, धेरै angry भएको अवस्था छ भने you try to control it and you be you appear yourself in a balanced manner. Okay, balanced manner. So don't expose your emotion, whether that is positive emotion or negative emotion. Okay, in your writing. So your objective will be achieved only with carefully considered and appropriate wording. So your wording should be appropriate. Okay, so some examples are here. You have deliberately failed to reply to my letter. You have deliberately failed to reply to my letter. See this example. This is very direct type of reply. You have deliberately failed. You have deliberately failed to reply to my letter. तिमीले जान मेरो प्रश्नको मेरो पत्रको उत्तर दिएनौ. तिमीले जान गरे हो यो कुरो. You have deliberately done this. So too direct this one. Too direct. So rather than saying this type of okay answer, it is better to say you are yet to manage time to reply my letter. Okay. Yes. You are yet to manage time to reply my letter. Okay, I'll correct it later on. Okay. So like this, it is safe. It is safer than the previous one. Some examples, some more examples. So we cannot do anything about your problem. It is very direct. It is not positive tone. Your positive tone bhayena. Sida ठाडो भाषा भन्छ नि. ठाडो भाषा बोल्नु हुँदैन. We cannot do anything about your problem. यो त अलि रुखो भाषा भयो. बिजनेस ल्याङ्ग्वेजले चाहिँ नेगेटिभ कुरालाई पोजिटिभ रूपमा बोल्नु पर्छ भन्छ के. You might have heard. Yes. For example, we cannot sell goods on, okay, yes, we cannot sell goods. I mean, okay, we cannot sell goods until Friday. Or you will not get goods until Friday. You will not get goods until Friday. तपाईँले Friday सम्म सामान पाउनुहुन्न नेगेटिभ भयो. नो भन्ने अलिकति कम गर्नुपर्छ बिजनेस ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा. पाउनुहुन्छ भन्नुपर्छ. त त्यसलाई कसरी भन्ने त भन्दा you will get goods on Friday. Meaning is same, but tone is positive. You will not get goods until Friday. Friday सम्म सामान पाउनु भन्नुको सट्टा यसको मतलब Friday त पाउनुहुन्छ नि त तपाईले. You will get goods until Friday. See the attitude, see the tone. You will not get goods until Friday. You will not get goods until Friday. Negative हो नि. यसले त मान्छेले सामानै नपाउनु रहेछ भन्ने भयो. तपाईले सामान पाउनुहुन्छ कहिले Friday. So you will get goods on Friday. We don't sell the goods in credit. We don't sell the goods in credit. हामीलाई उधारो दिने चलन छैन. Very direct. Instead of saying this thing, you can say we sell the goods in cash. Okay, for the time being, okay, we have decided to sell the goods in cash only. We cannot sell the goods in credit. भन्नुको मतलब के हो त भन्दा we can sell the goods in cash only भने पोजिटिभ हो नि त. सकेसम्म नो नेगेटिभ कम गर्नुपर्छ. Yes. Okay. We cannot do anything about your problem. तपाईको समस्यामा केही गर्न सक्दैन भन्नुको सट्टा अनफर्चुनेटली दुर्भाग्यवश. अनफर्चुनेटली भन्ने वर्ड राख्ने बित्तिकै अलिकति सेफ भयो. Unfortunately, we are unable to help you on this occasion. हामी तपाईलाई हेल्प गर्न असमर्थ छौं, गर्दैनौं भन्नुको सट्टा त गर्न असमर्थ छौं दुर्भाग्यवश भन्नु अलिकति चाहिँ पोजिटिभ टोन भयो. This problem would not have happened. This problem would not have happened if you had connected the wires properly. यो समस्या आउने नै थिएन त मैले वायरहरु properly connect गरेको भए. Instead of saying this thing, you can say the problem may be resolved. The problem may be resolved by connecting the wires as shown in the handbook. Okay? The problems can be resolved by connecting the wires as shown in the handbook. The problems may be resolved by connecting the wires as shown in the handbook. अहिले मैले भनेको कुरा यहाँ लागू भयो नि. This problem would not have happened. This problem would not have happened. Negative हुने नै थिएन. हुने थियो भन्नु पर्यो. हुने थियो. This problem may be resolved. Your television's guarantee is up, so you will have to pay for it to be fixed. So instead of saying this thing, you can say your television's guarantee has ended, so unfortunately you must bear the cost of any repairs. Okay, so like this. I am writing to complain because I was very unhappy with the way I was treated in your store today. म यो लेख्दै छु किनकि तपाईको स्टोरमा मलाई जुन व्यवहार गरियो नि त्योदेखि म एकदम दुखी छु भन्नुको सट्टा simply you can say I was most unhappy with the standards of service I received in your store today. It is better. I was most unhappy. म अलि दुखी भए with the standard of service. तपाईको सर्भिसको स्ट्यान्डर्ड जुन मलाई दिइयो. Okay, I received in your store today. अब यसमा ठ्याक्कै यही हुनु पर्छ भन्ने हुँदैन. You can write answer in your own way, but being as much polite as possible, as much positive as possible, without sacrificing the meaning. Without sacrificing the meaning of the original sentence. Okay, you have to do that. So here are examples. Okay, from the book you can use this. And मैले एक दुईटा solve गरेर राखिदिएको छु. Okay, पछि त्यहाँ उबाट डाउनलोड गर होला. So you have to do, yes, we cannot do anything about your problem. Your interview will be held on Wednesday. Your interview will be held on Wednesday 28 August. तपाईको इन्टरभ्यु यति 28 अगस्टमा हुन्छ है भन्नुको सट्टा प्लिज कम फर द इन्टरभ्यु अन दिस डेट भने भइहाल्यो. ओके, यो एक्जाम्पलहरु छ. you can just see. Okay, read in your free time. And don't use old fashioned words, okay, in your writing. I have already told you that in business language we have to use the modern language, not the old language. Okay, so better to use the language of the present days. Okay, yes, here is one information. I brought this information from another book. It beats me why so many people are using old-fashioned writing in modern emails. Enclosed herewith, please find our catalog for your reference and perusal. With reference to your above mentioned letter, kindly furnish me with the information soon. These stuffy old-fashioned phrases were used decades ago. So all these are the examples of old-fashioned words. So instead of this, we have to use simple, okay, modern expressions. For example, instead of we refer to your letter of 21st October 2000, okay, something. Instead of saying this thing, simply you can say, thank you for your letter dated 21st October. Thank you for your letter dated. So we refer to your letter of this one. Only confusing खालको but त्यति modern भएन यो. So thank you for your letter you sent by भन्न सक्छ. The above mentioned goods will be dispatched to you today. The above mentioned goods will be dispatched to you today. यो exam मा आउँछ यस्तो कुराहरु. यस्तोलाई चाहिँ modern language मा लेख, simple language मा लेख भन्छ. The above mentioned goods will be dispatched to you today. So instead of this sentence, you can say these goods will be sent to you today. These goods will be sent to you today. So no need to write the above mentioned goods will be dispatched. Simple words, simplicity, brevity, and clarity. Okay, these are the features of business language. Please see the below mentioned list of items we have in stock. Please see the below mentioned list of items we have in stock. So these are the items we have in stock. above mention, below mention भन्ने पनि भनिरहनु पर्दैन. सिधै चाहिँ these are, okay, here are, here is, okay, these goods भनेर सुरु गर्दा हुन्छ. Okay, भन्छ thank you for your letter भन्ने. Okay, these goods will be sent, these are, okay, this is, that is. Okay, say we have received your letter of 12 June. Simply you can say thank you for your letter of 12 June. I have pleasure in informing you. I am pleased to tell you. I am pleased to tell you. We can say we do not anticipate any increase in prices. We do not expect prices to rise. We do not expect prices to rise. Anticipate भनेको अलि गाह्रो वर्ड भयो नि, मैले सिम्पल वर्ड युज गर्ने, सर्टर वर्ड युज गर्ने भनेको थिएँ अस्तिको क्लासमा पनि. सो वी डु नट एन्टिसिपेट को सट्टा वी डु नट एक्सपेक्ट भन्न सकिन्छ. I should be grateful if you would be good enough to advise me. कति सजिलो रहेछ. प्लिज एडभाइज मी, प्लिज लेट मी नो भने भइहाल्यो नि. यो इकोनोमिक पनि भयो, किस प्रिन्सिपल पनि लागू भयो यसमा. ओके, एन्ड simplicity also. Simplicity, brevity, and clarity. I should be grateful if you would be good enough to advise me. Instead of this, we can say, please let me know. Please favor us with a prompt reply. Prompt means a quick reply. I hope to receive a prompt reply. मलाई आशा छ तपाईले छिट्टै उत्तर दिनुहुनेछ. Please furnish me with this information soon. Furnish भन्नाले गाह्रो वर्ड भयो के यो. So please let me have this information soon, or let me know soon. Please furnish me with this information soon भन्दा अलि गाह्रो भयो. सिम्पल मा हामीले लेख्न सक्छौं. Please let me have this information. Let me know this information soon. Please revert to us soonest. Revert to us. Revert भने कति गाह्रो हो. Please revert to us soonest. I hope to hear from you soon. Revert भनेको reply भनेको छिट्टै रिप्लाई गरिदिनुस् भन्नुको सट्टा I hope to hear you from you soon. Okay, so I hope I think we have to stop here today because of power cut off. Many students could not join. They may complain later on. So I want to stop here, and tomorrow you join at 6:55, and I may take more than 1 hour tomorrow. Okay, is it all right if I stop here now, students?
Yes, sir.
Is it all right
Yes,
if I stop the class?
Yes, sir.
Today? Some students could not join because of technical problem, so better to stop here. Yes, I suggest all of you to go to the Google Class and solve some questions given there.
Sir, only
And
3
download
questions
those books also. Yes. So anything to ask?
already submitted, sir.
Okay, those students who have not done, they can do this. Okay. So what to do now? Can we end the class now?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So see you tomorrow at 6:55, and I may recover today's loss by taking 15-20 minutes more tomorrow. We will start at sharp 7, and I may continue up to 7:15, 7:20 to recover today's loss. We'll do this. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day to you all.
Okay, sir.